brothers and sisters. May the Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark. Jesus left the district of Tyre and went by way of Sidon to the Sea of Galilee, into the district of the Decapolis. And people brought to him a deaf man who had a speech impediment, and begged him to lay his hand on him. He took him off by himself, away from the crowd. He put his finger into the man's ears, and spitting touched his tongue. Then he looked up to heaven and groaned and said to him, Epiphatha, that is, be opened. And immediately the man's ears were opened, his speech impediment was removed, and he spoke plainly. He ordered them not to tell anyone, but the more he ordered them not to, the more they proclaimed it. They were exceedingly astonished, and they said, He has done all things well. He makes the deaf hear, and the mute speak. The Gospel of the Lord. As we listen to the different miracle stories that the writers of the four Gospels have put down into writing for us, it's interesting to see the patterns that are there. And the one thing that's common to all of them is it presupposes faith either on the part of the person seeking the healing or faith on the part of those who know the person. So that always has to be there. But over and above that, there seems to be differences as to how the healings take place. Sometimes Jesus doesn't even say a word. In those situations, for example, when the centurion came to him asking for the healing of his servant, he doesn't say a word. He just says, go home, and the man goes home and finds that the servant's been healed. Sometimes he ends up using specific words. Sometimes he uses certain gestures. And, in a couple of instances, there's also kind of a progression for the healing to happen. Recall the one miracle story where he heals the blind man, and after he ends up touching the man's eyes, he asks the man, can you see? What do you see? He says, well, I see people who look like trees. Of course, then Jesus touches them again. And as a result of the progression of that healing, the full healing takes place. Today we find yet another example, and it's sort of an interesting one from the perspective that incorporates a number of things. He ends up taking his finger and putting it in the man's ears. He takes spittle and puts it on his tongue. He speaks a word, and Mark here, as in one other spot, gives us specifically the word Jesus used in the original language, Aramaic. In this case, it's epiphatha. And because of that touching, because of that gesture, the man is healed. We find in this case, too, it becomes a very private matter. He tries to take the man off by himself and makes it clear once the healing occurs that just keep this to yourself. And of course, that doesn't happen. They are totally taken by what's taking place. Any pious Jew would recall the words of Isaiah that when the Messiah does come, the deaf will speak and the dumb will hear. The deaf will hear, the dumb will speak, and people will be able to walk again. And so you're just seeing all these things happening with Jesus. They can't keep it quiet because of that. Healings, therefore, take a whole score of ways to occur. And the healing still happens, sometimes very subtly, very quietly. Sometimes of progression, it takes time for the whole healing to happen. Sometimes it's just like that. And in those moments when it's just like that, we call it a miracle. Jesus is healing us still. Sometimes it's not what we're looking for the type of healing or suggestion, but rather he knows deep down the type that we need. But in each case, there has to be that level of faith, that recognition that God is indeed capable of doing, as Jesus himself told us one time, anything. Anything is possible with God.